right, hello everyone, and welcome. We are up, down, and around the block at 6:30 on a Monday night. That means it's time for the Block Coaches Show, and tonight we welcome the much anticipated appearance, the debut of one of two of the newest additions to Great Falls Baseball, CMR Baseball. Tony, welcome, man. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So, we got a bunch of questions. I'm sure you've been hounded with questions over the last probably several months now. But, last week, CMR girls, they won down in Billings. Great Falls High girls unfortunately lost. Great Falls High boys lost. But you guys at home, 1-1. I mean, how did it feel?
It was exciting. There was a lot of preparation going into that first game. We had the ceremonial first pitch with our principal, and there was just a lot of anticipation leading up to game one. And I'm going to give credit to our guys. The moment wasn't too big for them. They came out ready to go, and we jumped out on Sentinel early and put them away in the fifth inning there. So we'll give it credit to our guys. They were just ready to go. They were amped up, and I think everybody was excited.
Yeah, there was first home run by Gage Allen right there, man. Congrats. You go down in history. I mean, is that set in on you? Because I asked Mac this back during swimming season. I was like, history is being written as you guys do this. Much like with Gallatin when it became a school, everything those kids are doing is the first that's ever been done. But for you, established schools, a single program now for each is writing its history.
Yeah, I think kind of when the moment hit me was we did gear checkout about a week ago. It was last Saturday, and got them all their the hoodie tops and sleeves and all that stuff. And we had practice Monday, and everybody was in their Rustler gear. And I think that's when it was like first,
yeah,
this is real.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, so it was kind of a cool moment there, and it was just exciting.
I got to say, not that we put much in uniforms, but there are some people, as a football fan, there's certain uniforms I love, even NBA. I don't think anything tops the late 90s for some of those jerseys. But, you look and you think, what's a good matchup? What looks good out there on the field? You want to look good. You want to feel good because then you play good. And I think both you and Great Falls High crushed it with these. And I'm sure that you and Mac had some conversations like, how do we make this look? The R, very simple. How many nights did you lose sleep trying to come up just with a design that you knew was going to be a winner?
To be honest with you, I probably threw 2 or 3 designs away before we decided on it. No, we, trying to create, baseball's own little logo, and we kind of came up with some different ideas, and it just kind of became more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And, the football coach, AJ Wilson, he's like, hey, why don't you use the old school R? And so, Coach Jay had the kind of the block R back in the 70s that they wore on their hats.
For sure.
We kind of looked at that a little bit and just put R with baseball underneath, and it just kind of took off and kind of stuck. And so we're excited to have that as our logo. So
it reminded me a lot of weddings, something new, something borrowed. You kind of want to have a little bit of everything. Was there any point where you thought, let's just do what the softball team does?
We kind of wanted to do something that's similar but also different and kind of our own. And I think that was the big thing. I think softball kind of used a little bit of the R from football and made it a little bit more softball oriented. But yeah, we just kind of wanted something a little bit on our own and something that, baseball players could identify with at CMR. And I think our kids like it. And, I think our fans like it too.
Yeah, I would say both. I see the hats. I saw the photos of the uniforms, and I thought those looked really sharp. So I think you guys got a couple of winners out there. So, a couple of questions. You mentioned the moment that it finally hit you as far as like, okay, this is like, it's happening. Like, this is really going through. But when did you know finally, like, okay, we're going to field the team. We're going to have practices. Like, what was that moment?
I think the moment after I got hired, it was probably about a week. Ed and I had to sit down with our AD, and it was, hey, here's a list of everything that we need to get ordered and prepared for, the upcoming season. We started from scratch. So, we had to buy the BP turtle, uniforms, and we kind of had a budget that we had to go on and then try to stay within that budget. that's kind of, it all of a sudden really kind of set in like, hey, we got to get this ready to go before day one. And so, it was a little stressful at first, but, it worked out. So, I mean, we got everything ordered that we needed. And, now the season's here. Now it's just baseball. Now we can have fun.
Yeah, now we're down to business. We're down to the point that we've been building to this whole time. And man, it took some discussions. I know I did a feature story, a few years ago when baseball was just coming to Montana as a whole. It was some of the lower, like the BNC schools. I talked with you and Mac, a few times about like, what are we waiting on? And you guys were like, it's kind of a wait and see deal. And now we have, I think all the AA are fielding teams. So what was the difference between when the BNC came onto the scene and now you guys finally?
Well, so right now, all the AA schools have teams except for the two Helena schools. So
Wow.
they're the only ones that don't have high school baseball in the AA. I think the biggest thing was, kind of the wait and see moment, see what it looked like, see what the structure was. The other thing too is, half the state was playing high school and then half the state was playing Legion. So, kind of, we wanted to make sure that when the majority of the AA schools were coming in, that we were kind of in that same mix. We just didn't want to jump without being prepared. And then we wanted to make sure, the competition was there and, kind of have the true AA conference for baseball.
Yeah, which was foreign to me, coming from Spokane, Washington, and baseball was my first love. I'll admit it, wholeheartedly. I loved baseball. I started out T-ball with the YMCA, but even still, going up through junior high and everything, when I played for my school, we had the YMCA at all levels and ages for summer ball, and then select, which was like the AAU, with basketball. But it never conflicted. So why was there this big conflict for so many years?
I think the biggest thing was just weather. The weather is so unpredictable with, in the spring that I think school districts were a little worried about putting out money and not being able to get a full season in, get a certain amount of games in. And with the Legion, you started pretty much around the same time. And then you kind of, if you were able to get games in the spring, and it worked out great. And then you kind of hit your conference in the summer. So I think that was kind of the big thing. And then I know some smaller towns were kind of struggling a little bit financially with fundraising and stuff like that. And so some people started really pushing it for the high schools to start to have it a little bit, because then it would be a little less demanding on, travel and stuff like that for parents and stuff. So that's kind of where it took off. And, I think our school district did a really good job of being patient and, and not just saying, yeah, let's have high school baseball and not have anything prepared. And, we were well prepared. We had a list of everything we needed to kind of have ordered and ready to go. And so I know there was a few years of waiting there, but it was well worth the wait.
Oh, absolutely. And, that seems to be a common theme coming up, the weather and spring sports, which not only are you guys at the mercy of the weather, but there is no makeup time, because once school's over, it's out, and I'm sure there's probably whole rosters of kids that would happily come back after they've graduated to see a season through and crown a champion, but it's just not, feasible, and you wouldn't want to ask that of them. So now that baseball is here, has the discussion of an indoor facility somewhere in the state picked up momentum at all?
Such as like games like that?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
No, nothing. I haven't heard of anything there. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make it go, and that do all the field prep. And if we do get rain outs or something like that, and trying to get the field prepped, and maybe the next day, or a day available for both teams. And you really can't beat Mother Nature. When it happens, it happens. And
undefeated.
Yeah. So, and it's just kind of a tough thing. And that is a challenge that, we're going to have to face and just kind of, grind through it.
Well, if you're watching on the live stream on YouTube or Facebook, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments for Coach Forster or any of my guests today. I got to know, what was the biggest obstacle to make this thing happen?
It was the fundraising part of it.
Where's this coming from?
Yeah. The school district's got to find ways to fund it, and they wanted a little bit of time, and for the community to come together and we have some great people that started the fundraising committee, and they really went out and pushed it, and the community backed it, and we were able to get that first year fundraise for us to say, yep, we're going this first year, and now we're well on our way to hitting our second goal for year 2. So wow, you know, just thank you to the fundraising committee that got all this going, and you know, the community of Great Falls to step up and, you know, help us out a little bit.
They rallied, man.
Yeah,
like, I mean, it was all the way back to, I think, the scrimmage for football that I was seeing fundraising people for baseball, and they're like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I'm thinking, I haven't heard anything. So I don't, and I talked to Mac, you know, and you know, pretty frequently about the subject. And I was like, these are the guys that would know. And I haven't heard a thing from either of you. So it was, yeah.
No, I think the biggest thing too is we didn't want to create rumors either.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we just wanted to make sure that if we were going to go, we were going to say we're going to go. So,
yeah,
you know, we just didn't want anybody getting the misinformation out there. So.
Yeah, I'm very much, I subscribe to the belief of don't say it's going to happen until you know without shadow of a doubt that it's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, that's how, yeah, that'll cause some issues right there for sure. Well, since you and Mac obviously broke off from the Chargers to coach these two teams, how much discussion was there as far as like with the obstacles of where to practice, where to play? How close were you? Because Mac, you know, he runs 4 teams at once at Great Falls High. Yeah. And so I'm sure there had to be at least some idea that you guys could share and share alike.
Yeah. You know, the little leagues, you know, I think our school district went to the little leagues and said, hey, you know, do you mind if our high schools, you know, Great Falls High practice Americans? We were either going to practice at the Riverside field or Westside field. And the little leagues were very good and open to allowing us use those fields. And so that was a pretty easy transition for us, I believe. So, you know, we just have a lot of people behind the scenes that are willing to help and see this thing go. And, you know, there's just a lot of support right now. And, you know, it's just great to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that for you guys, you know, you've seen kind of the quality of teams as it goes, or as it's concerned for the city, you know, like you guys both together are the Great Falls Chargers, and then you have the Billings Mustangs and so on and so forth. But who is, now that everybody is kind of split up, who's the team to beat? Or do you guys even know?
You know, I think it's still up in the air. You know, we haven't seen everybody. We saw Sentinel, you know, and we were able to split the doubleheader that we had with them. And, you know, they got some good players. You know, I'm going to be honest, I like where we're at. You know,
yeah, I'd say for sure.
With you. You know, but, you know, it's baseball and anything can happen. And, you know, as long as we can, you know, stay healthy and, you know, we should be pretty good. But you don't know with high school, right?
Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets broken up. You know about the Billings Scarlets and the Billings Royals. And, you know, once they start playing for their high school teams, you're not quite sure how they all mesh together and who's playing for who. So it's kind of a waiting game on that.
So I went and saw Mac after he had the parents meeting with the baseball team parents, right? And afterwards, he was like, "Wow, like that was so easy." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Okay, well, swimming, I've got 4 teams, right? And so there's, you know, 4 times the amount of parents at something like this. This thing goes, instead of 30 minutes, it can go for like 3 hours, right, with questions and concerns." And he's like, "This was a lot easier than I expected." And I'm sure, you know, you being part of the football team, you're a little used to it. But what was the biggest surprise as far as how easy it was to make it happen with this team?
Yeah, you know, just being prepared for it. You know, I mean, that was essentially be it. But you know, we spent a lot of time on like getting, you know, the parent information out and you know, just doing it the right way. And once you have it, you know, we kind of breezed through it. Had a couple questions, and then, you know, we were out of there. So yeah, it was nice.
Is the tryout process different for you than it is for the Chargers?
It is a little bit. It's a little bit shorter. You know, with high school, I think we ran 3 days of tryouts, and usually with the Legion program, we're about 5 to 6 days. So it is cut in half a little bit. But that's, you know, we have games. You know, we played our first game 10 days after we started. Yeah. You know, with Legion, you got about maybe 2 to 3 weeks to kind of prepare. So we kind of had to make some decisions right away and get these guys ready to go.
Now, is it true that your guys' schedule, because you play every team twice, that one counts as a home, one counts as an away? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. So it kind of helps so we play like a lot of double headers,
Yeah.
and with the travel time and everything else. But what it also does is allows us to, if we do have a snow out or a rain out, that there's more days available to possibly make those up rather than doing a single there and a single here, and we get those rained out, and then you start jamming days together with games, and those become a little bit more difficult to find. So I think that was kind of the other reason with double headers, and it cuts down on travel costs too a little bit. So
without Helena teams, what does your guys' conference landscape look like?
Yeah, so right now there's 8 teams in the East, and it's just like football or basketball, and then 6 teams in the West. And so what the format's going to be like for postseason play is, out of the East, you play your regular season conference games, and then the 7 and 8 don't make the playoffs, and then the 1 and 2 seeds get the first round bye into the state tournament, and then 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and then on the West, you just don't eliminate the 7 and 8. So the top 2 teams get a bye, and then 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. Just very similar to how basketball runs their playoff system.
And is it a 1-game play in?
No. So the way that's going to work is, if you're the home team, if you're the higher seed, you have to be beaten twice, but you only have to beat the visiting team once. So if the visiting team wins the first game, then you play another one. If the home team wins the first game, then the playoff series is over.
So what's going to be the biggest challenge now as you look at, it's a short season by calendar and by weather and by all means. So what's the trick to getting through one?
It's going to be a learning process, because you get all these games, that kind of get packed in, and they're meaningful games right away.
Yeah.
Like we had, 2 non-conference games, but we jumped right into conference on Friday. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning process of, kind of pitching rotations a little bit, making sure, we're not overusing guys early. I think that's going to be, especially on the bump, that's going to be the biggest thing, and make sure guys are healthy throughout the year and ready to go for postseason play. That's going to be kind of the key for this season, is just kind of finding out what that looks like.
So is there any talk with Centene about using their field like you guys do with the Chargers for any of these games, like Crosstown maybe?
Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. I know our school district had plans with the Legion and Dono and stuff like that. So, I haven't really heard much about that.
Okay. I think Crosstown for the first year at Centene would be awesome. I mean, that selfishly, that's just like, let's do it. Let's make it big.
Yeah, I mean, that would always be fun, but right now we have Don Olson Field and Cash Warren, and we have a lot of people that have put a lot of work into those fields, and they played great on Saturday. So, they're fun to play at too. So, we're excited.
So how do you want to leave your mark, as the first head coach of this program? We're making history in 2026. Like, what do you want to look back on and see when it's all said and done?
I think the first thing is just, we want to be competitive every year. Then that's the goal. Give these kids an opportunity to play for a state title. That's goal number 1. And then goal number 2 is just building the relationships with them. And, it's always nice seeing former players come back and, they tell you thank you. And, it just, so those are kind of the 2 big things, I think, with the mark that I want to leave.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. So it's time now for the return of one of our favorite segments on the Coach's Show, Fishing for Compliments with Coach, because coaches never just give out compliments. You have to fish for them. So we've got my fish bowl here and your fishing rod. So go ahead and fish one out of there.
Okay.
They're magnetic, so you got to find the sweet spot on one of them.
I'll try to get the green one here.
I think it's up towards the mouth on the green one. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, we got one. Fish on. Okay, and this is number 3. So for your 2 guests that you brought to feature, we've got Kane and Rourke. Let's see. Number 3 is, give me a compliment about their skill set, their skill on the field.
Skill set. All right. We'll start with Rourke. He's really turned into a great hitter. He's really composed, and and the other thing too is we saw him on the bump on Saturday, got him up there, and he hadn't pitched a whole lot on the Legion side of things, and he was very impressive for first time out, and being as sharp as he was. So yeah, he's turned into a real good ball player. And then with Kane, Kane's kind of a true program guy. He'll do anything and everything you ask him to do. He'll run through a wall for you. And he's one of our catchers, and you love to have a guy that's like that behind the dish with that type of mentality. So he's just a great kid to be around.
How effortlessly does he make that throw to second?
It's pretty smooth, and it's impressive. He didn't play baseball last year, so this is kind of his first year back from his freshman year, and he kind of had to knock the rust off a little bit, but he's got some skills from behind the dish. So,
because if I remember baseball correctly, I feel like the tryout for catcher, which I played catcher a few times, and then right field and first base, but for catcher, it wasn't even like, we don't care about your knees. Can you make this throw from your knees?
Number one, can you keep the ball in front of you? And then number two, can you throw a guy out?
Yeah. So. All right, Coach. Well, who's going to be up first after you?
We'll go with Rourke.
Rourke? Yeah. Okay, one more time. Coach Tony Forster, CMR Baseball, Rustlers. Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it. We will be right back after this commercial break.
The Block Coaches Show is made possible by our proud sponsors. The Burger Bunker, located at 24 5th Street South here in Great Falls and open Monday through Saturday. It's my personal favorite burger in town. I get the Island Burger. Stop in and tell them the F.A.N Show sent you. Burger Bunker, no frills, just deliciousness for your inner burger lover. Mars of Great Falls, your one-stop shop for a variety of automobile restoration services. Call today at 406-315-2142 or stop in and see Archie yourself at 1224 19th Avenue South. Schulte's 38th Street Store and Coffee House. Family owned and the best chicken in town if you ask me. But don't take my word for it. Stop in and see for yourself at 3800 3rd Avenue South. Russell Country Federal Credit Union, where they believe in helping you and your children achieve financial success and building a better community. They want to be your financial home, so stop in their Great Falls or Fairfield office and get started on your new account today. Mountain West Farm Bureau Insurance, the Eric Dirk Agency, protecting what matters most, local service you can trust, and specializing in home, auto, life, and farm ranch products. You trained them to ball, to hustle, to grind. Now protect their future and your peace of mind. Retirement, life insurance, risk on lock. Doug Mercado with Northwestern Mutual. Protecting what's important, growing for tomorrow. Call Doug. Your game plan starts today. And finally, C.M. Russell Hall of Famer Linda Morin, Rustler Pride.
And we are back. Linda sends her best. I told her, I said, hey, we're doing baseball. We're going to kind of talk about it, celebrate it. If you'd love to join us, we'd love to have you. She had some scheduling conflicts, but of course, always, as she signs all of her messages, Rustler Pride. So thank you, Linda. Welcome, Rourke. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good to have you. So we are celebrating, the official start to baseball 2026. I mean, like, it's crazy that that's a year in which history is still being written, especially for well-established schools like CMR, Great Falls High, with rich history. But now, hey, you are a part of that history, whether you like it or not. Has that set in?
Oh yeah, it's been a great feeling. Being part of that first win was great.
When did you know it was going to happen, like baseball? Because I'm sure even you guys as players probably had your reservations, because you'd heard the rumblings before.
Yeah, I was hopeful for it like almost a year ago, and then when I heard it, probably 3 months ago, I was very happy for it.
So what does this mean for you this year? Like, is it just sort of, is it really what they say, a different feeling putting on school colors than it is?
Yes, it's a completely different feeling. Having the R on your chest is amazing, and being able to represent your school through baseball is great.
So what kind of mark do you want to leave behind when it's all said and done this year?
I want to leave that long-lasting legacy through this first year and have future years be able to look up to this team right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is something like not everybody gets an opportunity to do. In fact, some never get the chance to do something like this. But here we are, and you guys, you started your season off 1-0, 1-1. But I mean, that first win at home in front of a crowd like that, your principal doing the ceremonial first pitch. I mean, just describe to me like being in the dugout, watching all this come together.
Oh well, it was amazing. From the first pitch, I knew the team was in it, and it was very exciting. And then that last run crossing the plate was just to seal the deal was great.
When did you know you guys had it?
Probably the fifth inning, and we were up 9-0. And I just feel like with our pitching staff and our coaching, I don't think we could have blown that one.
Well, of course, we're going to have Kane up here, your catcher, and you are the infielder and a pitcher. So
Yep.
how good is that relationship between you and Kane?
Oh, good. We've been playing together since we were probably like 8 years old. So
Okay, so it's well established.
yeah,
then.
it's been a while.
When tryouts rolled around and now you guys all have to fight for a spot on the roster, I mean, was it like, dude, you better make this? Like, I don't want to throw to anybody else but
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it was always good. There's always competition, but it was pretty confident with those two.
So how deep is your guys' pitching rotation in your mind?
Good. We're pretty much 9 deep. We got everybody that can come in at any time and throw strikes and get outs for us. Yeah, and I really believe that we have one of the best pitching rotations in the state, and all of our guys can throw strikes and get outs when we need them.
So what is that first crosstown going to be like? I mean, somebody's going to be, 1-0 against the other for the first time in program history for those two schools.
Oh yeah, that first pitch, I could just imagine. I hope there's a big crowd, and
Oh yeah.
I hope we come out on top. But it's going to be a good game, and we got to prepare for it and get ready for them, just like they're going to get ready for us.
So how different? I mean, we see sports all the time, especially football, where there's like the Pro Bowl game, or one guy gets traded to another team, or free agency takes him to another team, and now that edge rusher or that linebacker finally gets to tackle that quarterback that he's practiced with for so many years. You guys have that kind of set up when crosstown rolls around. Like, what's it going to be like, playing against guys that you normally play with?
Yeah, I think it'll be good being friends off the field, but we're all at the end of the day opponents on the field, so we're going to do everything we can to get them on top, just like they are. But it's going to be a good game.
How well do you guys know each other's tendencies, though?
Pretty good. The guys from Great Falls High I haven't played with for that long, for a couple years, but they're solid, and we got to bring our A game to that game.
All right. So if you look around the field, at the conference and the league now as a whole, who's going to be the team to beat in your mind?
Looking at the standings right now, probably West, just based on the prior knowledge of who their
Always West,
is.
man. It's always a Billings team.
Yeah, but we got to be ready for anyone. Take it one game at a time. Go 1-0 or 2-0 on the weekend, and don't look too far ahead. And prepare. Just be ready for any team that comes our way.
What's it like having this newfound camaraderie, if you will, with the softball team? Are they like, it's about time?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. They talk to me in some classes, and pretty good. We cheer for them. They cheer for us. We want them to win just as much as they want us to win. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw they came back from Billings and showed some support for you guys your first game.
They did.
That's got to be very heartwarming to have that kind of school pride and school spirit your first outing. So can't replace that. But when you put on and saw the uniform for the first time, did you think Coach Forster nailed it?
I love our uniforms. They're amazing.
He's watching you right now. Like, you better love these uniforms. The amount of sleep lost, I imagine, was probably unmeasurable. But they look sharp, man. I think the classic R is really.
I really do enjoy the R, just the plain old R on the hat. I think it looks very good.
Yeah. Well, you guys took the field, looked great, felt great, played great. So that 10-0 win, I mean, that's no better way to start a season, really. Who's the big hitter? Who's got the big bat on your guys' team?
Gage and I both hit home runs in the very first game, which is great. I think 1 through 9, I think we all can put the ball in play and do damage. But I think really we all can.
Okay. All right, some fun ones now. Opening day or Christmas, or I guess any holiday. You can put opening day up against anything. Is it opening day or is it a holiday?
Opening day over like St. Patrick's Day and stuff, but I think Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter probably over opening day. But
I'm getting some shocked looks like, what kind of baseball player are you? You put a holiday over opening day.
But it is good. It is good.
Who's your team at the baseball level? MLB.
Well, it's the Angels. Been a rough lifetime for me, but it's all right.
Mariners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know pain in the baseball world. It's tough. You want them to do so well, and then they disappoint you time after time.
Oh yeah,
And then you have friends that are Yankees fans. It's like, how do you sleep at night?
yeah, I know.
You're like, yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Well, it is March Madness. Yesterday, we had our second annual Madden tournament, and we paused it just to watch that UConn Duke game, and you could hear it echo through here when he made that three. How's your bracket doing?
Well, I was a little procrastinated and I did not make one. I ran out of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
They give you all this time. Like, I can't even count the number of email reminders I get
Yeah,
from ESPN. Like, hey, it's the season.
Yeah. My friends were not very happy with me, but yeah, I forgot to make one.
Well, here's your chance. One of the questions I've been asking throughout the month of March because of March Madness is, we had that COVID year where people were making up, March Madness brackets for anything, everything. I did 90s cartoons and cereal, and those made and broke some friendships. So for you, if you could make any dream bracket of your own personal hobby, passion, whatever, what would you settle with a March Madness style bracket?
That's a good question. Probably chicken wing flavors.
Ooh, yes, food, always a good choice. Okay, who's in your final four?
Probably like Asian, like a sweet chili.
Okay, all right.
And a barbecue, a buffalo, and then garlic parm probably.
Do we agree on those final four? Any objections? We got a lot of thumbs down. Yeah, I think the Polynesian, the garlic, those are both good ones. You gotta have like a honey barbecue, and then I think buffalo are probably your final four. But you never know. There's a few that this place here has huckleberry, and it's amazing. So there's going to be a few sleepers out there, but wing flavor. Yeah, that's a solid one. Okay, we had one of the other guests last week, or the week before actually, wanted to do best throwback jersey. So you have the MLB, NBA, NFL, and then hockey, the NHL. So do you have a favorite jersey from any of those that you wish would come back permanently?
The Denver Broncos one, the all orange with gold helmets.
Okay.
I like that. No bias, but I am a Broncos fan. So
well, now he said, yeah, no bias. I'm a Broncos fan, but no bias. Like, they just look really good. Well, as a 49ers fan, my favorite game was a year or two ago when they both wore their throwbacks. The Niners had their 90s throwback and the Seahawks had theirs. Why Seattle doesn't do that jersey permanently again is a mystery to me because that was a solid look. But I get it, Okay, you can still love your team or appreciate another team's style. So that's all right. As we approach spring break and summer vacation, would you rather have a weekend with the boys or a week-long vacation with the family? Your family's probably watching right now.
Weekend with the boys.
Slight hesitation and then clean delivery.
Yep.
Now you can we've added on to this that you can caveat it in any way you want. It can be like any dream vacation, but it's a week vacation with the family. So still a weekend with the boys?
Probably.
What's the weekend hotspot?
Probably fishing somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Okay, that's a good one. Well, for you, baseball is probably one of the founding fathers of superstition. So now that you have high school ball, has your superstition changed or is it the same? Like, what does your pregame look like now that you play for CMR?
It's pretty much the same. Go through the entire pregame like I would Legion, and pretty much the same.
So what all does that entail? Walk me through game prep for
pregame. Usually eat about an hour before. Get there about 2 hours before. Then eat a snack an hour before. Then warm up. When I'm running out to field, don't step on the chalk, and then get out and play ball.
I'm trying to remember where "don't step on the chalk" even came from, but you're a huge believer in that.
Yeah.
When you pitch, is there anything special you have to do at the mound?
Not really. I just go through my throw cues and try to replicate the pitch I threw before that and try to get as many outs as I can for my team.
Now, in something that's so repetitious like that, is there ever moments where either A, that a pitch just isn't a strike right away, or B, that like your rhythm as a whole is off and you got to try to fix it?
Oh yeah, there's always times like that. Sometimes you got to step off and take a deep breath and just talk yourself through it. And sometimes the pitch is called, you want to strike down the middle, and then sometimes you miss outside, or sometimes the pitch is called that you want to throw a ball, and then you throw a strike. And you're like, got to step off and just got to recoup yourself and throw the next pitch.
Has anyone ever charged the mound when you're on it?
No.
No? Oh, I don't think you're trying hard enough. That's probably a good thing at your level. Let's see. Question for Big R. Pitch a no-hitter, shutout game, or hit the cycle?
That's a good question. Probably hit the cycle. The cycle would be amazing. I was one hit away from it last year, and that was amazing, just going for it. I think the cycle.
For those that don't know watching, what is hit the cycle?
So you hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game.
Wow. Okay. I think we call that kind of stuff most times like a triple crown, or a grand slam. Well, baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But
any of those that they said would be awesome.
Well, as a pitcher, how close have you come to a no-hitter? Or have you had one?
When I was younger, I might have had one, but not in the recent history. I'm more of a reliever, closer type guy, so I don't start.
So you got to make the guy before you look good.
Yeah, I pick up where my starter left off and try to get as many outs as I can for my team and limit their runs to 0 and just, throw strikes.
Seeing a lot of buzzer beaters over March with basketball. What about a walk-off, either RBI, home run? Like, how many have you had in your career?
Well, I had one the first game, to 10-run rule. I hit a home run to put the 10-run rule into effect. But then past that, only one I can remember, I didn't hit it. I think it was like 11, 12U. Grayson Garza hit a Oppo home run to set us the championship, and that's one of my best memories of baseball was that moment when he hit that home run. I just remember looking at my brother. I think my brother was crying, and it was awesome.
What's been one of your proudest moments playing baseball?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Looking back, you think it's going to be being part of that inaugural team for CMR?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Being able to say that I played in the first ever baseball game at CM Russell history is pretty good to be.
That's just so wild. Like, nobody can take that from you.
Yeah.
Like, it's done, I mean, it's in the history books, and now we're going to keep plugging along. So what do you want to take away from this season as far as, like, individual success goes?
Well, I want to bat at least over 300. I want to limit my errors to as minimal as possible. I want to help my team win a state championship at the bottom line. So,
okay. All right. Greatest cereal of all time?
I don't know. Frosted Flakes, probably.
Yeah, there we go. I thought you were going to say Wheaties. I don't know. I feel like baseball players say Wheaties by like default, but Frosted Flakes is a solid choice. Is there an end-all, be-all ice cream flavor?
Salted caramel or Moose Tracks.
Okay. All right. I'm not a huge salted caramel fan, but the Moose Tracks is definitely equally as good. Who is your ride or die on the team?
Chase Little, my throwing partner. Jackson Mayfie's a catcher. Same with Kane. Pretty much the entire team. I'll go to war for any of them.
Okay, fine. We'll flip it. Who is not allowed to date your sister?
Gavin Gray.
Gavin? Why Gavin?
He talks too much.
He talks too much. All right, the whole team is in a horror movie. Who dies first?
Jay Simonson.
There's no hesitation whatsoever on that. Is there any particular reason why?
Nah, I don't know. He just seems like he'd probably die first.
Well, who on the team are you going to miss the most once it's all said and done?
Oh, my seniors that I won't get to play with again after this year. It's fun to play with them. Played with them for the last couple of years, and I'm really going to miss them when they're gone.
So how do you honor them moving forward?
Carry their legacy and their tradition on to the next year when I'm a senior, and then try to pass that down to the incoming juniors, so that just keeps the Rustler pride going.
Okay. In baseball, there's recently been the 999 challenge. It's like 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings or something, which I think is alcohol poisoning, honestly. But has there ever been a ballpark challenge that you've done like that?
No.
No. What was your first major league game you went to?
It was a long time ago. I think it was maybe kindergarten. We went to the Twins Angels game, and I saw Mike Trout. They Angels won, and then over COVID, we went to Rockies Padres game, and my brother's favorite player, Charlie Blackmon, hit a home run. And then this last year, we went to an Angels Dodgers game, and the Angels swept the Dodgers. So
Very nice, very nice. Well, would you rather have an Angels World Series or CMR State Championship?
CMR State Championship.
There we go. No hesitation. He knows that his head is in the right place. Very nice. All right. Well, any final thoughts on your guys taking the field? And now you guys are going to travel a bit. We got softball and baseball all week long, but now that you finally got it out of your system, you know what that feeling is like to wear the green and yellow. I mean, what's the thought now?
Carry it on for the rest of the season and wear it in that state championship game.
All right, man. Well, we are going to take a commercial break. We'll have Cam, but one more time for Rourke, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, dude.
Thank you.
All right. We will be back after this commercial break.
The Block Coaches Show is made possible by our proud sponsors. The Burger Bunker, located at 24 5th Street South here in Great Falls and open Monday through Saturday. It's my personal favorite burger in town. I get the Island Burger. Stop in and tell them the Fan Show sent you. Burger Bunker, no frills, just deliciousness for your inner burger lover. Mars of Great Falls, your one-stop shop for a variety of automobile restoration services. Call today at 406-315-2142 or stop in and see Archie yourself at 1224 19th Avenue South. Schulte's 38th Street Store and Coffee House. Family owned and the best chicken in town if you ask me. But don't take my word for it. Stop in and see for yourself at 3800 3rd Avenue South. Russell Country Federal Credit Union, where they believe in helping you and your children achieve financial success and building a better community. They want to be your financial home, so stop in their Great Falls or Fairfield office and get started on your new account today. Mountain West Farm Bureau Insurance, the Eric Dirk Agency, protecting what matters most, local service you can trust, and specializing in home, auto, life, and farm ranch products. You trained them to ball, to hustle, to grind. Now protect their future and your peace of mind. Retirement, life insurance, risk on lock. Doug Mercado with Northwestern Mutual. Protecting what's important, growing for tomorrow. Call Doug. Your game plan starts today. And finally, C.M. Russell Hall of Famer Linda Morin, Rustler Pride. All right, we are back, and I need to switch this thing. I always forget one thing. Okay, there we go. We got Kane up here. Welcome, man.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So, from the wrestling mat to the baseball diamond, like how crazy has your year been?
It's been pretty busy, honestly. You know, we had football, and that lasts for quite a while, obviously. And then you get about maybe 3 or 4 weeks, just kind of hang out, let your body recover, and then it's immediately right into wrestling. You go all these, practices are not easy for wrestling at all. And then once that dwindles down, you get another 3 or 4 weeks, and you're right into baseball. And I'm very excited about this opportunity. I remember being a little kid hanging out with Caden, Connor, Dalton, Carson when we were on travel ball teams, and we were just talking about this moment. Like we've been wanting high school baseball for such a long time.
Yeah, and now it's here, and you guys took the field. What was that moment like for you?
It was awesome. Like, it was speechless. I was pumped, and I was just excited.
Well, you are a 3-sport athlete, as you mentioned. Yeah, football, wrestling, and now baseball. All 3 mental sports, though. I mean, do you like the mental game within the sport?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's obviously in the moment it's hard. Don't get me wrong, but then you learn so much from these sports, and you will take this for like the rest of your life, and you use them for when you're an adult, when you get older, and anything like that. Like if a job interview goes bad, you know how to prep yourself for anything like that. Yeah. So that's just the important aspect of the mental side of these sports is like just so important for it.
So of the 3, which one challenges you the most mentally?
I would say wrestling is very, very tough, but if you were to dwindle it down the most, I think it's the offensive side on baseball. It's so psychology, like it's hard mentally. Like you could mess up really bad. You can go into a slump, and it's difficult.
So I'm trying to remember who it was. There was a story about Ken Griffey Jr. because, like I said, I'm a Mariners fan, and I think a lot of people were just because of the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. But when you live in the state, you tend to be drawn to that. But he was in the dugout after he hit a home run, and one of the other batters that was coming up in rotation asked him. He was like, "What was that?" He's like, "What do you mean? Was that slider, fastball, sinker? Like what was it?" He's like, "Dude, I don't know. I just swing." And he's like, "What?" This guy had it down where he was trying to get the pitcher's pattern, right? Like his rotation and what he goes through, when he does a changeup, when he's going to throw a fastball. And Griffey just went out and swung. So for you in the mental game, are you a guy that will just go out and swing, or are you trying to figure out like what's his changeup going to be? What pitch is coming next?
I just swing. I'm gonna be vulnerable here. I'm not a very great hitter, but that's just comes with catching so many bullpens and just being dialed in on catching, which it's hard, but I try my best. So.
Well, then on the defensive side, as the catcher, are you guys trying to pay attention to what a hitter will swing at?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. There's a lot of things like hitters' tendencies, spray charts. You need all that stuff to understand a hitter's tendencies, which is very important to like getting ahead of count, which is huge on a pitcher side. He's getting ahead, so you can throw these breaking balls or a change up that will throw these guys off, and then you just catch them on the 0-2 or 1-2, and then it's just next batter after that.
Well, I see all the Rustler baseball stuff. I love seeing it. It's so cool now, to see baseball swag and gear of the actual school. I got to get an R hat because with Richard being my name, R would make a lot of sense. So I gotta get one of those. But it looks sharp. So when you guys saw the big unveil, what was your initial thought?
Oh, we were hyped. The white jerseys are probably one of my favorites, in my opinion. The green ones are really good, and so are the yellows. The hats are really comfortable. They're nice. I like the old school R logo. I remember football season, all the coaches wore their hats with the old school R. I'm like, I talked to Wilson here and there. I need to get a hat from him. I haven't gotten that yet, but yeah, no, I really like the old school R, and I like the new look.
What is it about baseball and the white jerseys? Because everybody always talks about how just clean those ones look. It doesn't matter the team.
It's about like how clean they look before and then how dirty they get after. Just shows that you kind of work your butt off and you just you get a little dirty. It's kind of a good feeling.
So how do you slide?
I slide head first.
Head first. Yeah. I feel like that's taboo, but obviously if Forster's not yelling at you, then it's okay. When did you come up with like that's my slide?
When I was 13, when it was actually like you could actually slide head first, I was just dialed in on just doing that. It's way more fun. And I apologize for my mom, obviously, when she has to clean my jerseys every time we play a game. So it's,
You're like, I'm not doing it on purpose, but I'm doing it on purpose, because I understand this is how I slide. How torn up has your chest gotten?
The worst it's ever gotten was when I was younger, when I would do it all the time. I still have like scars right here on my elbow, and it's bad. So
you had a beat by a long shot. You're still sliding just to slide.
Yeah,
I can see that. Oh, well, you guys start 1-0. Everything that you guys do is history. What was the moment where you knew it was finally going to happen?
It was a little after, it was like during wrestling season when I was looking up these like Facebook posts on the Great Falls Advocate baseball program, I think is what it was. I can't really remember the name, but it was all these like fundraising things, and the money just kept going up. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. This is the year we're gonna have baseball, and it couldn't have happened more perfectly. This group of seniors is perfect. I love every one of them, and I've had a personal connection with them, and they're all just they're great. They're fantastic. Every one of our juniors also had a personal connection with them, and it's just we have a very good group, and we're very solid this year.
I forget, are you junior, senior?
I'm a junior.
Junior? Okay. So you'll get 2 seasons of this. The seniors only get 1. Is there any pressure to make it a memorable season because they only get the 1 for the seniors?
I think that just comes naturally, but we're trying our best to not put so much pressure on them because just kind of have fun and go with the flow. You know what I mean? Just kind of have fun and just play our hearts out, as it's their first time and only time, unfortunately, but it's just got to have fun and just got to play our hearts out.
Well, we did get a question in specifically for you. Let's see, most pitches worn in a single game and in a weekend.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about hitting. Me and my buddy Dalton, he's a senior. When we were younger, we got hit by pitches several times in a weekend, and these tournaments were about Friday, Saturday, and you would probably see around like 5 to 10, or if not, a couple more just getting smoked, and it's not a very good feeling.
As a catcher, was it a quick learning experience to never, ever, 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 ever forget your cup?
Yeah. It's simple but hard.
Yeah, that was for me. You learned that one real quick. You're like, oh, I'm in a very dangerous position right now.
Yeah.
Well, as far as your ritual, your superstition, what does that look like for baseball now that you play for the school?
When I was playing Legion, I would always wake up about an hour and 30 minutes before the game actually started, or whatever time we actually had to be at the field. And I would always eat a donut, one single donut, and I would just go on and get out of the house and have everything ready to go the night of. And then once I get to the field, I get to the dugout, and then once the coach or anyone who is coaching, which would be Forster this year, says pants on, I'm just immediately dialed, forgetting everything else that's happening outside of baseball right now, and I just immediately focus on first pitch. That's about it. But obviously, same with Rorik, just never touching those lines.
Never touching those lines. Well, I'm still focused on the donut. Is it a glazed donut, chocolate donut, maple bar, like what, or any donut?
I'm a chocolate guy.
Okay.
Chocolate bar.
All right. So we'll use that to segue into my create your own March Madness bracket to settle any sort of, fandom that you have or passionate. Is it donuts?
I mean, we could do donuts. Yeah, let's do it. My final four would probably be chocolate foot or chocolate bar, and then let's go with maple bar is okay. Another good one would be a round donut with like the hole punched out with the sprinkles of a glazed donut from at Krispy Kremes. Those are actually pretty good.
Okay.
And then we'll just keep it simple. The old-fashioned donuts from Hempel's Bakery here in town, those are pretty good as well.
So when we lived in the Midwest for a while, both Sioux Falls and then Omaha, we were introduced to Long Johns. You heard about these?
I have not.
So Long John is literally just a maple bar with bacon strips put on it. That's a Long John.
Bacon?
And then it's a cream-filled maple bar with bacon strips on it. That's a Long John. Like,
I can't do cream-filled donuts. They throw me off.
Oh, yeah, that's it's a lot. It explains a lot about the Midwest sometimes too, because they love those things. But yeah, it's that's so we weren't crazy when we hadn't heard about it. But yeah, that's the thing over in the Midwest. What other dream bracket would you create?
Let me see here. Probably let's stick with the food part. Let's go breakfast. Obviously donuts is in the top 4. Let's just go with that. But I really, really love some biscuits and gravy. Like,
Ooh,
go to.
Okay.
If I could make it at any time, it'd be biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
Some, Eggo waffles, keep it simple, nice and quick. Some butter, syrup, and then, just some nice warm hot cakes or pancakes with some bacon. I think that's pretty good as well.
I think omelet is going to beat out either the pancakes or waffles. One of those
we
two.
could throw an omelet in there.
Okay.
Let's see. We'll see.
Do you have a go-to omelet?
No, whatever my dad makes, I just kind of eat sometimes.
We always make fun of Drew Etcheberry on here because apparently his pregame snack is a microwave chicken patty and then ramen.
I still give him crap about that. After I heard that, I don't know, it was just weird. I'm gonna be honest, it threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who's gone 4 or 5 years without soda puts that into his body. I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's see, favorite third baseman.
It's Gage is probably the favorite for third baseman as of right now, just because he said that comment.
Yes, thank you guys for submitting questions to our guests here. All right, so weekend with the boys or week-long family vacation?
And you said you can go anywhere on this family vacation.
Yes. Oh, the wheels are turning now.
Weekend with the boys. Probably.
Is that what you call a curveball?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right, where's the go-to spot? Is it Glacier? Is it Holter? Or
I'm personally a big fishing guy, and I love Fort Peck. That's probably where I spent most of my time growing up, and it's like it kind of hits close to home. So I would definitely say Fort Peck.
Okay. What does getting to play in the first baseball crosstown later this season mean?
A lot. It means a lot. We got to set that tone early, saying that we're the more dominant side of the river, which I think is very, very true. And it's just, it's very important to win those games and keep that tradition early and keep it going. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not just a year's worth of bragging rights. Like there's significant bragging rights in being that first one. Even though you guys will have 2 of them each season, like that first one, it's important. That sets the bar right there. You already want to know in the history of your guys' crosstown. When it comes to your 3 sports, how do they rank? Favorite to least?
I really like baseball. I'm gonna be honest. I think it probably either the 2 or the 1, and then it'll be football number 1, and then wrestling number 3. But I'm no shame on wrestling. I really like it. It's just a hard sport. Like,
I was gonna say you're really good at wrestling. Like, I was there for crosstown. Like, you were good.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just really, really hard, like mentally and physically. But I enjoyed what the outcomes of wrestling the most out of all 3 of these sports.
Well, one thing I like to know from a lot of you 3-sport or more athletes is what was the decision to not pursue certain sports? Like, why didn't you do basketball? Why didn't you do soccer?
So the basketball story, I can't shoot for so it's bad. It's really bad. And then anything else like soccer, I just never really found a passion in running. I just didn't really think that'd be very fun. And I don't know. Basketball would probably never be a good idea for me or any of my kids if I were to have some, because they just would not be a very good gene on my part. So I just can't shoot.
Sounds like you're a very pro defensive guy.
Yeah, big defensive guy
with your sports. So yeah, basketball and soccer probably don't make a whole lot of sense. But football, was there a favorite game or moment that you had from any of your time playing so far?
I'm probably the Bozeman game. That was awesome. First time winning in Van Winkle Stadium. Beating Bozeman for the first time since I'm not totally sure, but it's been a couple of years. First time beating Bozeman, and it was just a great feeling, man. Those seniors deserved it. It was awesome to be in the moment and playing in that game. We worked our asses off that whole week trying to get that grind, so it was a good look for us.
Well, I was told you guys are like 9 deep at the pitching. So one question is, who's your favorite pitcher to catch?
I'm gonna say all of them. I really like catching them.
That is such an easy out answer, but I will accept it. Okay, it gets tough to pick favorites here when we get into this portion of the conversation. But let's see. Okay, opening day or any holiday? We'll put opening day against the Field.
Opening day. I like that one.
See, he knows baseball. He gets it. That's a baseball answer from somebody who loves baseball. What have you been to a major league game?
I have. I think 2 summers ago, I actually went to Boston, Massachusetts with my family, and it was an awesome experience. That stadium, Fenway Park, is unbelievable. It's old, but I love it. If I had the chance to go back right now, I would do it.
Yeah, there's something about some of those baseball parks out there. I always call it Safeco. I don't care about T-Mobile, but yeah, going to Seattle. I was there when the roof was open, so that was a lot of fun. And I saw a game in the Kingdom. Griffey did not hit home runs. That was sad. But no, baseball, the environment's different. Is there like a certain aspect of the game, like 7th inning stretch or anything that you just love being a part of when you're at a game?
I think the 7th inning stretch is actually pretty like a valid pick. Honestly, it's pretty fun. At that moment, it's where teams are little fatigued, but these relievers or these closer pitchers start to come in, and it's like stuff's about to get really close, tight. Baseball is about to be the best played there, and it's just kind of, I think 7th inning stretch is kind of like the best part about that. It's about to get serious and stuff like that. So I think I would probably say that.
Okay. And let's see. Everybody wants to know your favorite pitcher on here, but you said all of them.
Yeah,
right?
I do like
sticking to all of them. Okay.
Heartfelt answer. I love catching all of them. They're my buddies, and I have some pretty close connections with them. So,
well, you get 2 years as a chance to leave a mark. But what kind of mark do you want to leave once you hang up your cleats for CMR baseball?
We all talked about this as a team. We want to win state this year. I think that is like the baseline of our goals, and I think it's very, very achievable. And I'm gonna be honest, I think we are the team to beat this year. We have a lot of good guys, very solid group of seniors, and I think Gage and I are the only 2 that didn't play baseball for 1 year, and everyone, or except Dalton, I did also. But we grinded over the winter break or over the course after the winter sports, and then we're trying to get back. We want to go do this. We're being serious about it and stuff like that. So definitely winning state is like a baseline of where we want to set tradition and standards for this next group that's coming up after us.
Where do you get that kind of confidence? Because your team, the Chargers, is split in half. But you're saying I think we are that team.
So like I said about the 13U team, Lightning, you know, I played with a lot of those guys for a very, very long time. And we'd always go to Riverside, which was the Little League stuff. And it was just, you know, building those connections when we were little kids and always understanding what their limits are and what they can do and what they're really, really good at. And, you know, I think, you know, like I said, we're the team to beat. And I think we're, you know, a pretty solid group of kids and all very well behaved. And we can definitely do it if we put our minds to it and stick together as one big group. You know, I'm like I said during that wrestling one, our meeting we had together, I'm a big team guy, and I absolutely love to see when players and teammates get along the best. And that's just from what I see. Well, personally, what I see is that teams will grow from being able to be together in the diamond and outside of it. And it's just, I think we're that team. You know what I mean? We stick together really well. We talk whenever we're out of school, in school, out of baseball, and it's just, I think we'll be a very solid team this year.
I get it. Yeah, I see it. All right, last two. Who's your ride or die on the team? I can't say everyone.
My easy out is everyone. I really like them all. But from catcher to catcher is probably Jackson Mayfield. He has to go through the same stuff I do, catching bullpens for about 45 minutes. You know, it's not always the funnest thing to do, but, you know, we do it, and we learn a lot from each other. And, you know, it's fun to compete against him and stuff like that. You know, it's fun. Him and I get along very well. He's my throwing partner. And, you know, it's a tight connection between me and him just simply because of all the hard stuff you have to go through as being a catcher. So.
And then who is never allowed to date your sister?
I'm going to be honest, it's Chase Little.
Why Chase?
It's just Chase.
It's just Chase. It's just Chase. And that's just how we're going to go ahead and end this one. So, baseball is here. Congratulations to CMR, 1-1. But man, that first win to start the season off at home, great crowd, and you guys. I'm looking forward to a lot of fun baseball this season. Both of you in Great Falls High, and can't wait for that first crosstown. So, baseball, softball, tennis this week. All right, Spring Sports Tour is here for the show, and Spring Sports as a whole is here for everybody who enjoys them. So, thank you again so much to Kane, to Rourke, to Coach Forster. Thank you guys for being here. And next week, we have CMR softball, so you won't want to miss that. And until then, we will see you next time.